Diesel is vanishing from new car showrooms, but that doesn't mean your diesel is doomed. In 2017, nearly half of all cars sold in Europe were diesel. Now it's just 12%. Why did diesel really collapse? And what does that mean for you before 2030? The answer is far more complicated and urgent than you've been told. Automakers face a simple math problem. Developing diesel engines and electric vehicles at the same time is too expensive to justify. The cost of meeting ever tighter emission standards, especially for carbon dioxide, has soared. Under current European Union rules, car makers are fined €95 for every gram of carbon dioxide per kilometer that exceeds their fleet target, multiplied by every car sold. In 2020, Volkswagen Group paid over €100 million in penalties, while FCA faced a €77 million bill for missing its carbon dioxide targets. As these regulations tighten, dropping from 95 grams in 2021 to just 61 grams by 2030, manufacturers have little choice but to concentrate budgets on electric technology. Diesel engines, once seen as a bridge to lower emissions, now risk pushing companies over these regulatory limits. For most brands, the only way to avoid massive fines is to stop investing in new diesel development and shift resources to electric vehicles. In 2015, a single scandal changed the course of diesel forever. Volkswagen admitted to using software that cheated emissions tests, exposing a widespread industry practice and shattering public trust. The fallout reached far beyond one brand. Suddenly, diesel's reputation was in free fall, even as engineers raced to clean up the technology. Today's Euro 6D diesels, introduced after the scandal, face real-world emissions tests rather than just laboratory checks. Independent labs now measure actual on-road pollution, and the results are clear. Modern Euro 6D diesels emit dramatically less nitrogen oxides and particulates than older models. In many cases, their emissions are nearly as low as those from petrol cars or hybrids. But the stigma remains, with many still associating all diesels with the failures of the past. For owners of recent Euro 6D vehicles, this means driving a car that is far cleaner than public perception suggests. And that distinction matters as new regulations are debated. The rules for new diesel and petrol car sales are now set in law across the UK and European Union, and the deadlines are coming fast. In the UK, the sale of new pure petrol and diesel cars will end in 2030. Only plug-in hybrids will remain available for 5 more years, with a complete switch to zero-emission new cars required by 2035. The European Union follows a similar path. From 2035, only vehicles that produce zero carbon dioxide at the tailpipe, such as battery electric or hydrogen, can be sold new. These policies do not affect existing diesel owners. They apply only to new vehicles entering the market. For current diesel drivers, ownership, use, and resale remain legal well beyond these dates. The changes target manufacturer sales, not private individuals, and are designed to accelerate the shift toward low and zero-emission transport across Europe. Low-emission zones in major UK cities, like London's ULEZ and Birmingham's Clean Air Zone, set clear rules. Diesel cars must meet the Euro 6 standard, generally those registered after September 2015, to drive without paying a daily charge. Older diesels, especially Euro 5 models, are almost always subject to fees, regardless of their age or mileage. For example, in London, non-compliant diesels pay £12.50 per day, while in cities like Glasgow and Bristol, similar charges apply. These are not outright bans. Owners can still enter, but at a cost. Some cities, such as Sheffield, only target commercial vehicles, leaving private cars unaffected. Across Europe, standards and enforcement vary, but the pattern is clear. Stricter zones focus on emissions, not just the year of manufacture. Outside these zones, diesel owners retain full rights to drive, sell, and maintain their vehicles. Checking your car's Euro rating and local rules before travel is essential. Tradespeople, rural drivers, and high-mileage owners continue to rely on diesel for reasons that go beyond habit. Sam, a self-employed builder, drives a 2018 Euro 6D van across the countryside every week. For him, diesel isn't just about fuel economy, it's about carrying heavy loads, towing equipment, and knowing he can refuel quickly anywhere. He's not alone. Across Europe, diesel powers 96% of trucks and more than 80% of vans sold in 2024. These vehicles form the backbone of construction, delivery, and service work. Used values for modern diesel vans remain steady, reflecting ongoing demand from people who need practical, long-range transport in their daily lives. Hydro-treated vegetable oil, or HVO, offers diesel owners a renewable alternative that requires no engine modifications for most Euro 5 and Euro 6 vehicles. HVO is produced from waste oils and fats, and when sourced sustainably, it can cut life cycle CO2 emissions by up to 90% compared to regular diesel. Major manufacturers, including Volvo and Mercedes-Benz, now approve HVO use in many recent models. Always check your owner's manual or consult your dealer for confirmation. Choosing HVO, made from certified waste feedstocks, avoids the environmental downsides linked to palm oil plantations. For Sam, switching to HVO means keeping his van on the road while dramatically reducing carbon impact, all without sacrificing performance or reliability. Check your Euro class, confirm zone rules, review mileage, locate HVO supply, and book a service. In 2017, diesel cars accounted for nearly half of new vehicle sales in Europe. By 2024, that number has dropped to just 12%, driven by Dieselgate, shifting automaker investments, and strict EU and UK CO2 targets. The evidence shows that while new diesel sales are ending, 2030 in the UK, 2035 in the EU, existing diesel vehicles remain legal to own, use, and sell for years to come. Most urban low-emission zones focus on pre-2015 diesels, leaving modern Euro 6D vehicles largely unaffected. For tradespeople, rural drivers, and heavy-duty users, diesel still dominates, powering 96% of trucks and over 80% of vans. The rise of renewable fuels like HVO, already approved by major manufacturers, has opened a path for cleaner diesel operation. Yet questions remain about the future availability of renewable fuel in evolving city policies. What is clear from every document and data point is this: diesel technology is not suddenly obsolete. It is evolving, and informed owners have real choices ahead. As someone who genuinely loves diesel vehicles, my thoughts are simple. I'm not panicking, and I'm not rushing to sell mine. I understand where the market is heading, but I also understand how valuable diesel still is for the right type of driver. Until there's a realistic replacement that can tow like diesel, last like diesel, and refuel in minutes anywhere in the country, I'm sticking with what works. And honestly, I believe a lot of people are going to panic sell way too early and regret it later when they realize diesel isn't disappearing the way headlines suggest. So don't follow the noise. Follow the reality of your own driving situation.